Right, episode 2 of my lessons with Simon, and yes, I'm back in the car, which means one thing, it's stupidly early in the morning. It's just gone 5:30. I'm off to the golf club because I am having my second lesson of this season with Simon. So last lesson, if you haven't seen it, there's a link up here, and we looked at face control and the hammer club and controlling sort of my face at impact, and it's been about probably over a month since that lesson. I've played quite a few rounds of golf, some ups, some very, very down, plenty of time on the driving range. I have to say, I felt like I've tried to work really, really hard at that face and really get that muscle memory in my hands, but I felt like I've taken 2 good steps forward with that. I felt quite confident. However, I felt like I've gone 1 step back again, as although the shots are still a bit fadey, which is fine because they're controllable. I can just set it up a little bit down the left. As I go down the bag, sort of 9 iron and lower, everything's a pull. Everything is a pull. I can't control half shots. Like, I'm almost too handsy and I'm just almost hooking things. And I used to be pretty confident within sort of the 120, 100 yard range, at least being able to hit the middle of the green. I wasn't always trying to pin seek, but you know, it felt pretty good trying to get it into the middle of the green. And if I did miss the green, it was only just on the fringes, and the, you know, chipping wasn't going to be a problem. But at the moment, wow, it is left with the side of left. Off to the golf club. A few shots just on the range, get warmed up, and then we'll get into the tee bay, and we'll have a look at what the hell is going on this time. Right, here we are in the bay. Simon is dotting up my pitching wedge. As I said in the car, wedges and stuff are a big problem. I also want Simon just to have a look to see if last lesson and that's sort of working, and I'm still keeping my hands turning over. But I've just showed Si these 3 pictures that I'm going to put up on the screen now. 3 tee shots on the 10th hole at Bury St Edmunds. 2 pretty good drives, one very good drive. One that went in the trees, but I managed to wedge out back into the middle of the fairway, and every time I was within 100 odd yards and I missed the green. And it's just, that's where I feel like I'm losing a lot of my shots, and it's costing me on the golf course. So that is definitely the main focus of today, and just trying to bring that dispersion in.
Let's do it! Let's do it! Okay, so as always, we're going to get Ryan to hit 5 shots with his pitching wedge, just to get a little bit of baseline data. That's it, isn't it? That's the one you want me to see? That's it. That's it. Okay, that's exactly what you want me to see though, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
That is what's happening. 3 more, keep aiming straight. And there we go.
Oh,
Exactly what you want me to see, isn't it?
indeed, left
those.
side of left.
Okay, so angle of attack is steep, so we're getting up towards 8.5 average. I'd like to see if we can work on reducing that.
Something we have discussed.
Yeah, obviously you are tall, so you're going to have more of an angle of attack. That's fine, but I just think that gets a little bit steep. And also, the swing path is kind of dotting around 0, going a little bit left. But club face is always pointed left, so that's this column here. So every time there's a minus number on face to path, that's closed to the path. So if the path's already left and the face is close to that, it's left and left, and away it goes. Loft presented is okay considering how much you're hitting down on the ball, and if we look at the dispersion in terms of, you can see they're all 5 of them are left of target, which you know. So it's a case of experimenting with, for me, path and most of all angle of attack to try and help you sort this out. Strike's not too bad. You had 1 out of the toe there, and 1 a bit low, but the rest were in the middle. We'll obviously keep track of that, but it's not like it's getting anywhere near which is good, because that has been, in the past, that has been a bit of an issue. So I want to play with some ideas of face and path and angle of attack, and then see where we go from there. Okay?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so we need to try and get you a little bit shallower earlier in your downswing, so you can attack the ball more from the inside and a bit shallower. I don't like big, steep down into the ball. In an ideal world, I can deal with you being more down than the average height person, just because you're taller, but we definitely need to get that club face lower and more behind you later in the swing, so you can then just rotate and keep that club nice and shallow to the ground. So we're going to use the swimming pool noodle. Same old drill that we always do. With this one, I'm just going to put it low and behind you. So when you swing down, you're going to be swinging underneath the foam. If you hit the foam or go over the top of the foam, then you know you're coming into steep. So grab your wedge, let's go. Okay, so what we're going to do, get yourself ready to go. Okay, and now I'm going to put the foam kind of just below waist high and just in here, and Ryan's going to swing underneath it. And then more importantly, on the way down, he's also going to swing underneath it. Okay? So this is going to feel quite odd, and I'm not too fussed where these go, but I just want you to get the feeling for it, okay?
This is going to be a very strange feeling, because I'm very used to trying to, like, I've been very conscious of picking up like longer stuff up on the inside,
yeah,
and then but this is kind of almost forcing that.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so club path on that one was 6 degrees to the right. So we've moved past 7 degrees already in one swing. I know we didn't quite get the strike. There we go. Straighter?
It's a bit pulley.
That's fine. Yeah, cool. Keep going. I'm going to come in a little bit lower in here. There we go. Just so you get that feeling for where we want to be. There you go. That's the one, isn't it? So it's just giving Ryan a visual and some feedback. So if you come and actually hit this on the way down, then you know we're going steeper. Now, does that feel manageable?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I felt like I worked the hands quite a lot with that last shot.
Okay.
Felt like because it was there, I was like, well, I'm now here.
You've got to rotate.
So I've got to get
well,
through.
yeah, I'd like you to do that with your body more than your hands. It's a bit more consistent, but let's get you on the right path first of all. They're much straighter, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so second set of 5, working initially on angle of attack and path, trying to work those two things together. We reduced the angle of attack slightly by, just about a degree on average. That's fine. It's those ones that get up at 9.5 that I don't like to see, so definitely lower than that. We definitely changed the club path instantly. That noodle drill is so good for changing club path, because it gives you the spatial awareness behind you of where you need the club to be.
Yeah.
We then can marry that up. So if we've got a rightward path and a leftward face, they kind of match up to each other. And all the other bits in here are still fine. We haven't lost any club head speed. Strike, considering you had a bit of noodle behind you, is all vertically quite nice. A little bit left and right in terms of heel and toes, but vertically all very good, because you're not coming down quite as steep. And then if you look at the shots themselves, 2 dead straight and 3 slight pulls. Still in the same cluster in terms of distance. We haven't lost any distance. Still nice and high. Definitely closer to where you want to be in terms of the path and in terms of the angle of attack. And if we can now marry that up with, hopefully for me, a little bit softer feeling in your hands, so you don't have to feel like you work those hands as much with the wedges. We'll see if that can straighten things up. Yeah, let's just work on face for the next 5 and give you a feeling of trying to play with that. Okay, so club face is always going to be a feeling, because it's something it's going to be moving so quickly. You need to get a feeling for yourself.
I've struggled with for a long time as well is feeling of things. So.
Exactly, your face direction. So let's continue with it. So I want you to take your normal grip. Okay, and I want you to feel, we spoke about this before, but I want you to feel this base knuckle on your index finger of your right hand. Okay, can you feel that's on the side of the grip? Yeah? Cool, so get yourself ready to go. I want you to hit me some shots. We're going to leave the foam out for a second. We'll keep a track of it on the GC2. But what I want you to feel like you do is all the way through the hitting area, that base knuckle on your index finger feels like it's underneath the club. Okay, so it never goes on top, okay? I want you to try and almost feel like what it feels like to go too far right, and then we can kind of work that balance back. So imagine that foam still there, finger underneath. There we go, instantly one off to the right. Cool, perfect, yeah? So we've got two swings in there where, I'll just bring it in here so I don't keep recording it, but we've still got the club face to the right. We've now had a 7.8 and a 5.8 face to the right as well. So where we were all minuses in here, we've now got a massive positive. Okay, so that shows me you can deliver a rightward path and a rightward face. Before you were delivering a rightward path and a leftward face. So now can we try and marry that up? So again, with that base knuckle on the index finger, let's feel like that's on the side of the grip. Okay, when you swing through. There will be a point to this, keep going. Looks good on the launch monitor. Was that good for shot?
A little bit, tiny bit left,
Tiny bit left, yeah, was a little left. A little to the right.
Tiny bit to the
Yeah,
right,
good stuff. So just trying to play with these ideas, and this is something that you can do in practice, and don't be afraid to play with those feelings in terms of that face, to hit it deliberately left and right, because what you're going to need on the golf course is the ability to know where it's going to miss. So you need to have that plan so that when it goes wrong,
I want it to go wrong
in the right direction. Right, exactly. So you can play to it. Getting steeper, just getting steeper. We've gone 9.5, 10, 7.6, 10. So it's all right, let's just go back into the other exercise. So I'm gonna go in here. So really, really low. You got to feel like that club comes in super, super low. All right, that's what we want to see, isn't it? So that was minus 10.3. That's the most steep you've been. You've got to get that club low behind you. So really feeling like that club gets low, well behind you. And this is difficult because you want to pull the club down quite steeply because that's what you're used to. So this is going to feel super, super different. Yeah, that one over the top of the phone.
Over the top?
Yeah. It's better. Look at that. Nice. Oh, hit the flag. So there's a yellow flag out on the range, which is what we aim at in pretty much every lesson. Let's just take a one bounce and hit it. Okay, so clip the foam. Yeah, so that was the last two was minus 6.5 and 6.2, and that one was minus 8.9. So it's just that difference. Okay, so for Ryan, we can do a real kind of nice simple setup in here, just a range basket and alignment stick poked through the £1 shop foam noodle. And what we're gonna do is gonna have it probably this one, I reckon. There we go. So we're gonna kind of have it in here so that he has to feel like he has to be on the inside. So you can see the foam is just slightly to the inside of him, and a nice distance behind him. So the club has to get low at this point before it then goes into the ball.
So I'm really coming in here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then the problem with that is, if that's in a direct line with the ball, the only way the path can be going then is left.
That way.
And you've worked so hard on getting the club face square to closed, you can't then have left path and left face because you're going to be in worlds of trouble. So this is something you could set up on your own quite easily. And if you hit it, you then just reset. Perfect. That's good. That's exactly what we want to see, isn't it? We want to see it. We want to see you hitting that foam to start with.
Yeah.
So the whole point to the foam is to exaggerate it. Like, it massively exaggerates where I want Ryan to be, and it gives him that great feedback because he gets really annoyed when he hits the foam because he doesn't want to hit it. And it's a really like simple drill. Okay, right. Next drill. So this is going to be to test you out to see if you can control your distance while doing this. So I think you might know what's coming. But what we're going to do, you're going to hit a full shot with your wedge.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what we're going to do is going to see if you can then hit 7 shots in a row that gradually get shorter. No feedback in here, just I want you to really feel like it's, almost feel like, get yourself set up, almost feel like, bring the club back to here, almost feel like the club's like almost on the ground here and then going into the ball. Yeah, so it's on the ground way behind you, that's it. Good, okay, go for it. Cool. Okay, so there we go. So there's our first one. So that's 126 yards. Okay, so we now need to get 6 more balls out, so we know where we're at. So that's 6 balls here. 1 there, 6. Yeah, got it. Okay, now gradually you've got to step this down. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on this column here. So you've just got to step it down. Okay, so definitely straight. So most importantly, that was good. And that was 1, 2, 3. So you took 3 yards off that. So well done. Don't get cocky. Okay, so this is the next one. So it's got to be just less.
You don't want to start 120 something and then go 100 if I've done 20 yards. Right?
Well. Okay, so again, not left.
Terrible.
That's good. So that's 109. So well done. Very good. 109 in here. So he's stepping it down nicely. So hit the floor. A little left. 86. So I would always work for you on a 10% dispersion. Okay. So 100-yard shot going 10 yards offline is kind of okay. That's our limit. So that was 87 yards and 8.3 off. So it's right on our tolerance, okay? It doesn't want to go any more left than that, but that would be okay. Okay, so that's 4 shots in a row. We've got 3 to go. So again, that's straight, isn't it? That's the shot you want, isn't it?
That was the one there that was really left and missing greens.
Yeah. Brilliant. And that's 61 yards. And we'll talk about the club data because I've obviously got the club data. That was also 0.3 offline, so spot on for distance. Yeah, again, nice and straight. 48 yards. Look at this, hey? What a player. And now he can do what he likes. Yes, did it. Now that's 7. I had a 10-year-old do 20 in a row, and his 9-iron, bless him, only went 70 yards. Okay, so if you just have a look at those shots Ryan just hit, there was pretty good dispersion. 1 right, a couple left, pretty much straight in here, which is the shots that he was looking at. And also what I like is that, can you see this nice step down in distance in those blue dots? I mean, the last one was silly, but the nice step down in those first 6 shots. Good. Okay, and also, strike's pretty good too. Don't tell him though. Okay, right, we come outside to try and test Ryan's aim to finish off with. What we're going to do, we've got 5 balls down on the grass. In the sunshine, Ryan's had to take his t-shirt, take his jumper off. There's a lovely bit of sun flare just over the back of your head here. We're going to go across the range hitting 2 different targets because it's all very well on that mat when everything's nice and straight, but we have to learn to control direction out on the golf course. The first one is going to be this basket just here. I'm also deliberately making him just use his pitching wedge. I know you would change clubs for this, but it's not about necessarily the flight necessarily. It's just about the direction and can you control that swing at those shorter swing lengths. So lovely silhouette into the sun. Cool, so direction good. Okay, so blue flag next. So I'm just checking your aiming in here. And we're just watching starting direction. Yeah, hands, can you feel that? Yeah, cool. So that's gone left. So we're going to go across to the left-hand yellow flag. It's at the top corner of the range. Can you see it? Okay. So again, just got to allow those hands to be more on the side. Don't have to overdo the hands. Good. It's different, isn't it? It's right of where we want to go, but it's not left. And that's the point to this, is that we're not always necessarily looking for the answer right here in terms of you being able to repeat it consistently, but I just want to affect the change, don't we? We just want to see a change and see if you can manage it. So we're going to go short blue flag here now, so much shorter swing, but again, can you start it online? Yeah, that's better, isn't it? He's happy with that. Yeah, it wasn't the big pull. Okay, so now we're going to go full swing up to the corner. Can you see the green sign in the corner of the range? Okay, so the green sign you can just see at the end of the trees there. Cool. So that's gone a bit right. It's probably gone just over maybe our 10% to the right, but not miles over, but it's definitely not going left. So I'm going to come around so you are in sunlight.
Bit of lighting.
Get that bit of lighting. You're the lighting guru. So talk me through your interpretation of what we've done and how you're going to kind of practice this going forwards.
It's definitely learning how steep I am, and literally forcing it to something I've been stopping for a long time, which is, you know, I feel like when it's on the inside, it's going to go right, because it has done traditionally, and it's breaking that mental. I think that's
the challenge.
Really
Yeah,
big
definitely.
thing, that it will be all right there.
Yeah.
And just letting that hand here, trying to just square as I can get it.
Passive, yeah, it's passive. You don't have to, because I think for so long your club face has gone right on the backswing and then had to roll left on the downswing. And I think that balance was difficult. I think now you're getting it much squarer on the backswing and still adding that roll,
Yeah, so I'm
just causing the left.
Going, and now I'm at the ball, so round it goes. But I don't need to. Round it goes.
No, you don't. And again, it's breaking. For me, it's breaking down, and it's that development. The whole point of this is development curve. It's you know, there's a reason behind the name. The swing evolves, the swing develops, the swing and your interpretation of what you have to do changes as bits and pieces get better. So for years and years you've hit this slice.
Yeah.
Now, and we've always said it, like, you can go back to the older videos, we will go too far left to then have to bring it back. And actually we're doing exactly what I expect from someone learning, and we're still getting back into our golf. It's, you know, having that year out.
Been a long time. Perfect. Thank you, Simon. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed lesson 2 of this series of my 2021 season. If you have enjoyed this, please think about it. Just get down the bottom there. There's a subscribe button down there. That'll get you my stuff, Simon's stuff, Adam's stuff. There's plenty to come from the channel, so we'll see you down here at PJ Life next time.